Welcome to MVTI Learning Channel. My name is Lydia Chewu, your cookery theory and practical instructor. Our topic is pastry. By the end of the lesson, you will be able to explain pastry, state 4 types of pastry and 2 examples of each. Prepare sugar pastry, short pastry, and 2 uses of each. Pastry is a mixture of fats, flour, water, and other ingredients. There are so many types of pastry, but today our focus is on the 4 types. We have true pastes, and examples are profiterole and then cream bun. We also have sweat pastes, and examples are steamed jam roll and then meat pudding. We also have sugar pastes, and the examples are jam roll and then jam tarts. We also have short pastry, and the examples are sausage roll and then Cornish pastry. As we learned previously in trade science and calculation, we learned about food hygiene, personal hygiene, and kitchen hygiene. You can see that I'm wearing my head cap and the apron to prevent the hair falling into the food accidentally, and also prevent the direct spillage of food onto my dress. In cooking, it's not advisable whilst cooking you will be talking or you talk often. So to prevent the saliva falling into the food, I have to put on my mouth guard to prevent saliva directly falling into the food. And also, I also have to wash my hand so that bacteria will not have contact into the food directly. I also have to pour boiled water on my tools and equipment to prevent bacteria which might accidentally get into the food through the tools and equipment. I also have to sterilize them. We are coming to prepare short pastry. Short pastry, we need margarine, salt flour, and then salt. We need 200 grams of soft flour. As you can see, I'm measuring the flour. This is our 200 grams of flour. You pour it into a mixing bowl. You also measure 100 grams of margarine. You add it to the soft flour that we have measured, 200 grams. You're coming to rub our margarine into the flour. This is the rubbing method. We are rubbing in until it reaches sandy texture, like fine gari. So we are preparing our short pastry. So this is the final mixture, like fine gari. So we are now going to add 4 tablespoons of water to form a paste. So this is my water. 1, 2, 3, 4. So as I've added the water, I'm binding it. So this is our short pastry. We'll leave it about 5 minutes in order to rest before we use it for our Cornish pastry and then our sausage roll. These are my filling for the Cornish: grated carrots, green pepper chopped, chive chopped, corned beef. You can also use minced meats, chopped onion, and my seasonings to give it a taste. So mix all the ingredients together. To have effective rolling, you have to dust the board first with a flour. So I'm dusting my pastry board. Then you bring your short pastry on the board, then you roll. You are using the pastry cutter to cut the Cornish size of the Cornish pastry. So I'm cutting. Here is the filling to get my Cornish. To have the Cornish fill nicely, we have to apply water to the edges. So you place it on a greased and dusted baking sheet. So this is our Cornish pastry. Now that we are done with the Cornish, I'm coming to prepare egg wash and put it in the oven. The egg wash is prepared by taking egg and milk, mix together and apply it on the egg wash, the Cornish, to make it more presentable and eye appealing. That's the egg wash. So I'm going to put it in the oven for it to be baked. Now that the Cornish is in the oven, we are coming to use the same short pastry for the sausage roll, as explained earlier on. I'm trimming the size, the surplus one, so that it will look presentable by the use of palette knife. So this is my sausage roll. So these are greased and dusted baking sheets. We dusted it so that the pastry will not stick on the baking sheets after baking. I'm coming to egg wash the sausage roll in order to look attractive and presentable. The sausage roll is ready, and I'm going to put it in the oven. Now that I'm done with the sausage roll and the Cornish, after 25 minutes, my Cornish is ready. So this is our end product for the Cornish. We're coming to start with the sugar pastry. Sugar pastry, we need sugar, soft flour, egg, and flavors. So we are going to measure 125 grams of sugar. Let's pour it into a bowl. Take 1 egg, break into a bowl. Add the egg to the sugar. Then we cream it a little while. After measuring my sugar and breaking my egg onto the sugar, I'm coming to measure the flour and the margarine as part of the sugar pastry. So flour, 200 grams. I'm pouring the flour into the mixing bowl. You measure 50 grams of sugar. Coming to measure the margarine, 125 grams for the sugar pastry. Gently cream the sugar and the egg in the mixing bowl for about 2 minutes. Then add your margarine to the sugar and egg mixture. And cream. This is vanilla essence. This is also strawberry flavor to give it a nice flavor. And cream all together. I'm coming to add my flour into the egg, sugar, and the margarine mixture, bits by bits. Then I cream. So this is my sugar pastry. Before I work on the sugar pastry and put in the oven, let's put the sugar pastry aside. And let's see the end product of our sausage roll. This is the end product of our sausage roll. We are coming to roll our sugar pastry. First, dust your chopping board to prevent the pastry sticking on the board. Then pick the pastry and roll. After the pastry has relaxed for some 2 to 3 minutes. So after rolling, I'm going to cut with my pastry cutter once again. Then I place it into my patty tin. I'm coming to mix my jam for the jam tarts. This is apricot jam. I'll lose it by the use of tablespoon. Coming to add a quantity into the middle of my sugar paste because it's jam tarts. To make it more presentable, I'm going to cut a strip to crisscross it. This is my jam tart. I'm going to put it in the oven. I'm coming to use the same sugar pastry for jam roll. This is my jam roll. I'm going to bake it in the oven. As the kitchen hygiene says, after working, we have to tidy up the table. The working place should be neat all the time. At the end, these are our 2 examples of sugar pastry and then short pastry. Jam tarts for sugar pastry, jam roll for sugar pastry, sausage roll for short pastry, Cornish for short pastry, and the quiche also from short pastry. And also pastries can be used as a snack. They can also use for cocktails. And pastry does not go on itself alone. That's why you can see cocoa drink and then mixed fruit drink. In all, these are our end product of our pastry lesson.